The wedding hall was empty now. White flowers stood as silent witnesses on every table. The air was thick with the sweet scent of cake and the lingering joy of a day spent celebrating love. For the newlyweds, Mark and Sarah, this was the moment they had been promised. A private final dance arranged by their renowned wedding planner. It was meant to be the perfect quiet end to a perfect loud day. As the soft music began, Mark took Sarah's hand, and they moved to the center of the dance floor, their new wedding rings catching the dim light. This was their sanctuary, a private world created just for them. The day had been a whirlwind, but this dance was different, intimate, sacred, a pause before their new life. They swayed gently, lost in each other's eyes, whispering promises only lovers share. It was a scene straight from a storybook, a memory to cherish forever. Or so they thought. This tradition, so full of romance, held a secret darker than anyone could imagine. Behind the beauty of this moment, a chilling reality was taking shape. The privacy that felt so romantic was not a gift, it was a tool. The silence was not for reflection, but for concealment. The wedding planner who orchestrated every detail had also planned this final, terrible act. The final dance was not just a dance, it was a meticulously planned opportunity for murder, hidden in plain sight. The world saw a perfect wedding, but something sinister was about to unfold. Only one person knew the truth: the wedding planner. Emily Carter was more than just a wedding planner. She was an artist in the world of luxury weddings. Her name was synonymous with perfection, her calm demeanor and style legendary. Clients adored her, trusting her with their happiness and their secrets. Her signature touch? The private final dance, a moment of pure romance after the guests had gone. Couples sought her out for this tradition, believing it was the ultimate gesture of intimacy. But behind her warm smile and tailored suits was a mind cold and calculating. Emily Carter was not just an architect of dreams, she was an architect of deception. Her meticulous attention to detail and ability to gain trust made her a terrifyingly effective killer. She understood people, their desires, vulnerabilities, and blind spots, and used that knowledge for her own gain. The perfect planner was leading a perfect double life. The first death was a tragedy. John Miller, a healthy 35-year-old, found dead the morning after his wedding. The cause, a sudden massive heart attack. Shocking, but not impossible. Emily Carter, the wedding planner, sent flowers and a heartfelt note, praised for her compassion. A year later, another groom, David Chen, died on his wedding night, an acute allergic reaction, despite strict catering precautions. Again, Emily Carter was the planner, supporting the grieving bride. The third time, suspicion began to stir. Michael Rodriguez collapsed and died during his private final dance, an apparent brain aneurysm. 3 young, healthy grooms, all dead within hours of their weddings. All 3 weddings had one thing in common: Emily Carter. To the world, it was a string of bad luck for the esteemed planner. But one detective saw a pattern: too perfect, too clean, too closely linked to one person. He pulled the files. Heart attack, allergic reaction, aneurysm. Different men, different causes, but identical timing. Each man died after the reception, during the private window when the couple was supposed to be alone. Emily Carter was always one of the last to see the groom alive. She set up the final dance, cued the music, and quietly locked the doors. The detective began to look closer, piecing together the unseen connection. The deaths appeared unrelated, but the circumstances were identical. The privacy of the final dance provided the perfect cover. Emily's presence was always just out of sight, her role unquestioned. The pattern was there, hidden in plain sight. The detective knew he was looking at something far more sinister than coincidence. The investigation had begun. The perfect tradition was now a perfect crime scene, and Emily Carter was at the center of it all. The private final dance was the centerpiece of Emily Carter's murderous plan. A wedding reception is chaos. Hundreds of people, dozens of staff. Murder would be impossible without witnesses. But Emily's tradition created the perfect opportunity. Privacy, no staff, no guests, just the couple and Emily nearby. She'd send the bride away on a small errand, leaving the groom alone. During this brief absence, she would strike, using months of research into the groom's medical history. For John Miller, a fast-acting, untraceable drug in his champagne. For David Chen, peanut extract on the rim of his glass. For Michael Rodriguez, a substance to induce a fatal hemorrhage. The final dance provided the perfect, quiet stage for her deadly performance. The bride's panic and grief became Emily's alibi, the perfect crime, hidden by the perfect tradition. For a crime so meticulously planned, the motive had to be powerful, simple greed, executed with chilling precision. The detective dug into the financial lives of the deceased grooms and found the key. Each had recently taken out a substantial life insurance policy. The beneficiary? Not the bride, but obscure corporations, shell companies with no real business. The sole director and shareholder, Emily Carter. During planning, Emily offered financial advice, recommending her own trusted broker. The grooms, trusting her, signed paperwork with her shell companies as beneficiaries, explained away as a legal strategy. Each wedding was a long-term investment, months of planning for a perfect payday. The real profit came after the final dance. With each death, millions in insurance benefits flowed to Emily's companies. She had turned love and marriage into a cold, brutal business. The romance and personal touches were all a marketing strategy for murder. The architect of dreams was, in reality, a broker of death. For years, Emily Carter's system was flawless, until her fourth wedding for Ben and Jessica. The venue had a new, hidden security camera in the ballroom, unknown to Emily. The wedding unfolded as always. Guests departed, staff cleared out. Emily prepared the stage. She offered Ben a final glass of champagne, then excused herself. As Ben and Jessica danced, Emily slipped back in through a side door, believing she was unseen. Ben began to look pale, but before he collapsed, Emily stepped from the shadows, caught on camera. The camera saw her emerge, approach the couple, her face cold and calculating. Ben stumbled but didn't collapse. The dose wasn't fatal. Jessica screamed, startling Emily, who retreated, then reappeared as the concerned helper. But it was too late. The camera had seen everything. Emily's perfect system crumbled in seconds. The evidence was undeniable. The unblinking eye had finally caught the killer. The end of her deadly tradition had begun. When Ben survived, Emily Carter's world unraveled. The detective seized the hotel's security footage. In the viewing room, police watched as Emily appeared in the ballroom, contradicting her alibi. Her face, once warm and professional, was now cold and focused. The footage, combined with the financial motive, made the case airtight. Emily was arrested quietly at her office, her mask of calm professionalism slipping as reality set in. News of her arrest sent shockwaves through the wedding industry. The trusted planner was exposed as a serial killer. Brides relived their trauma, now knowing their husbands' deaths were murder. Emily's trial was a media sensation, revealing the depth of her deception. She was found guilty on all counts and sentenced to life in prison. The architect of dreams would spend her final days behind bars. The deadly tradition was over. Emily Carter's crimes left a deep scar on the wedding industry. The private final dance, once the height of romance, became a symbol of danger. Planners distanced themselves from the practice. Magazines warned couples to be cautious. The tradition died in its original form, replaced by new standards of transparency and safety. Couples were encouraged never to be completely alone with any vendor. Some still longed for a quiet moment, so the tradition evolved. The final dance now included open doors and trusted witnesses nearby. Intimacy was preserved, but isolation was eliminated. The new tradition became a shared secret, protected by loved ones. The story of Emily Carter served as a permanent reminder. Even in joy, caution is necessary. The final dance was no longer private. but a testament to love and protection. The shadows had been chased away by vigilance. Emily Carter's story is a cautionary tale about trust and the masks people wear. We hire experts for life's biggest moments, trusting them with our dreams. Emily built an empire on that trust and used it as a weapon. Her crime shattered the illusion of safety around life's happiest milestones. The most elaborate deceptions are often hidden in plain sight, disguised as kindness and professionalism. Her legacy is one of heightened awareness. Vigilance is not cynicism, but wisdom. We must look beyond polished surfaces and glowing reviews. Emily Carter's story is a lesson written in blood. The most dangerous threats often come from those who earn our absolute confidence. Her story will forever be a dark footnote in the history of romance, a reminder to be mindful of the shadows we invite in.